Imagine your company is at the top of its game, unstoppable, right? Well, think again. Which phone manufacturer pops up to your mind first? In the early 2000s, everyone would say Nokia, Sony Ericsson, Motorola's HTC sensation. Gone! No matter how big your success, you can still hit rock bottom. But why does this happen? We will uncover how even the biggest companies can crash in an instant. We'll explore the crucial difference between invention and innovation and reveal the 4 pillars of innovation that help companies to overcome these challenges. And a secret ingredient when all else fails. As a bonus, you will discover how a German scientist almost beat Apple to the iPod. Let's dive into the biggest winners and losers and learn from their past mistakes. So how can you drive innovation to avoid your market cap to be swallowed by a fresh new company? One of the best examples for reinvention is Netflix. Remember when Netflix was just a mail order DVD rental service? They changed the game with a subscription model that did away with late fees, unlike traditional video rental stores. In 2007, Netflix introduced streaming, allowing subscribers to watch TV shows and movies online. This very move disrupted the traditional media consumption and set a new standard. Then came House of Cards. With this original content, Netflix removed their reliance on studio licenses and offered something exclusive to its users. But Netflix didn't stop there. They invested heavily in technology, perfecting algorithms for personalized recommendations and superior streaming quality. Many technological breakthroughs in cloud computing and many more started at Netflix, earning them the N in FANG. So Netflix's journey shows how reinvention can lead to market dominance. Another one? Let's talk about Amazon. Amazon started as an online bookstore for rare and hard to find books. They quickly expanded to a wide range of products, with all different categories and fundamentally changing retail. Just like Netflix, Amazon expanded their business model to innovation towards computing and introduced AWS, Amazon Web Services, today's leading cloud computing provider, all from a bookstore. Further innovations that kept Amazon relevant throughout the years were the ebook reader Kindle, their voice assistant Alexa, and many more breakthroughs in AI. There are plenty of further examples of companies that have changed completely with their business model to overcome the graveyard of irrelevance. Nintendo was a card game manufacturer and started to craft games and ultimately became one of the biggest video game studios of the world. Uber used their existing technology to introduce Uber Eats, the only company in the Uber franchise that doesn't lose money. Apple and Adobe entered the subscription-based service ecosystems, and many more examples here that will take way too long. Google is even so eager to reinvent the wheel all the time that there's even a thing called Google Graveyard, which refers to discontinued Google projects, services, and initiatives. Over the years, Google developed a reputation for frequently launching new services and equally often discontinuing them. But there are also other companies that haven't made the cut and got lost over time due to their lack of innovation. Like Yahoo, which was a serious competitor to Google at the time, but can't keep up anymore. Or other DVD rental companies such as Blockbuster, which were not able to innovate like Netflix did and are now a relic of the past. But innovation doesn't always have to come with new inventions. Let's quickly check the difference between these two terms before we talk about how Tim Cook managed to skyrocket the iPhone sales without inventing anything new. Invention is mostly aligned with creating a new device, process, or method that has not previously existed. An invention must be novel, meaning it is new and has not been done before. Inventions can often be patented, providing legal protection for the creator's intellectual property. Under inventions, one could bring up things like the telephone by Alexander Graham Bell, the World Wide Web by Tim Berners-Lee, or the light bulb by Thomas Edison. Innovation, on the other hand, is the process of improving, implementing, and commercializing an invention or an idea to create value. It involves turning an invention into a product or a service that can be utilized by consumers and businesses. Innovation focuses on making inventions practical and usable in your daily life. And innovations often lead to changes in the market, driving new trends, disrupting existing industries, or creating entirely new markets. For instance, the smartphone evolved from the invention of mobile phones. But prior to the smartphone, there was another big invention of Apple. Now let me tell you a story about how the iPod have almost been a product of a German scientist. In the early 90s, the German scientist and engineer Karl-Heinz Brandenburg invented the MP3 format at the Fraunhofer Institute in Germany. Research in Germany was, and still is, focused solely on inventing things and don't have any ambitions and focus on commercializing these inventions. Therefore, Brandenburg was simply not allowed to do anything but file a patent for the MP3 format at that time. Later in the 90s, Steve Jobs saw an opportunity to revolutionize the digital music industry with a combination of hardware, software and services. Apple acquired a small company with talent to build an innovative product to utilize MP3, marketed the hell out of it, and whoops, we got the iPod. If the German regulation would have a bit more focus on innovation instead of solely inventing things through their institutes, Brandenburg and his team would easily be the billionaires that built the iPod. Sometimes innovation doesn't mean that you need to invent anything new. It can also be about adapting existing concepts to fit your strategy. Just look at the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus. Before its release and under the lead of Steve Jobs, Apple was known for making the smallest smartphones compared to competitors like Samsung and HTC. But when Tim Cook entered as the CEO, Apple switched gears. They decided to adapt to the market trends and the consumer demands. The result?
iPhone 6 and the iPhone 6 Plus.
These models became Apple's best-selling smartphones with over 222 million units sold. And more than that, the best-selling smartphones of all time. This success came from adapting to market needs instead of swimming against the current. Adaptation can be just as powerful as invention. So far we have talked about inventions, innovations and mostly about competition. But innovation doesn't mean that you have to reinvent and adapt yourself to outdo your rivals. Because sometimes collaboration is the key to success. Collaboration is a trend across many different industries like fashion, video games and even furniture. A great example in tech is the latest collaboration between OpenAI and Apple. By combining their strengths, they created a seamless AI system integrated into iOS, Apple Intelligence. But this isn't new. Car manufacturers have collaborated with Apple and Google to develop Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, integrating smartphones seamlessly with vehicles. So innovation can range from fierce competition to open collaboration. But sometimes the lines are blurred and things get nasty. From time to time, startups have big brain ideas and get the attention of big corporations for them. Not seldom, the corporations buy these startups off acquiring their innovations. Think of Facebook buying WhatsApp for $19 billion, Adobe acquiring Photoshop, which can be seen as the product that made the company big, Amazon buying Twitch in August 2014 for $970 million. But sometimes the acquisition doesn't work out as the big companies planned, like Adobe failing to buy Figma in 2023. But tech giants like Google and Meta wouldn't be where they are today if they would just allow these failures on their account. The secret ingredient that powerful corporations use for innovations which their money cannot buy is theft. A few examples. The algorithm and product that is known today as Google Earth was originally developed by a startup of two inventors in Berlin. The product was known under the name TerraVision and has allegedly been stolen afterwards from Google. When Snapchat rejected Facebook's offer to buy them off for their innovative way of handling user stories, the Zuck decided to just steal the feature and bake it into Instagram. Same thing happened with TikTok's big success of dopamine looping videos, which was also baked into Instagram, but now we call it Reels. Amazon almost purchased Netflix for $50 million but was rejected at the time. Later, the tech giant just released their own competitor with Amazon Prime Video. So what can we take away from the rise and fall of these tech giants? Innovation is crucial in this ever-evolving tech landscape. Even the most successful companies can crumble if they fail to innovate and adapt. Netflix showed us the power of reinvention, transforming from a DVD rental service to a streaming giant. Apple's shift with the iPhone 6 demonstrates how meeting the market demands head-on can lead to unprecedented success. Collaboration like that between Apple and OpenAI can be a game changer. But let's not ignore the dark side of innovation, where big corporations sometimes resort to unethical strategies like theft to stay ahead, as with Google Earth and Instagram stories. Whether through reinvention, adaptation, collaboration, or even facing the harsh realities of corporate strategies, continuous innovation is vital, because innovation is what shapes our world of tomorrow. Welcome. My name is Ayhan. I'm a freelance software engineer in Germany and I share the incredible stories of our tech world with you guys. If you like this video, do me the favor and give it a thumbs up, and I'm pretty sure you will love the next one. Take care.